Hello everyone and welcome to the Captain's video weblog. We are Sunday, May the 21st, 2017, and well, I had originally planned on recording this video yesterday night, but as it turns out, I had also somehow completely forgotten about NXT TakeOver Chicago, and I really cannot explain how or why that happened. I mean, I've kept watching wrestling, it's not because my internship had started that I just pushed pro wrestling away from my life. I just stopped watching it live, even though it didn't quite have a lot of impact, if it even had any at all on my sleeping schedule. But still, that fact alone means that pretty much every week since WrestleMania, I was reminded that NXT TakeOver Chicago would happen and that it would take place the night before Backlash. And I can tell you that I hadn't forgotten for 1 second about Backlash. So yeah, I just really don't understand. And quite possibly the worst thing about this entire situation is that not only did I only remember about that show like I don't know, maybe a couple minutes before it actually started, I really didn't remember about it at all. I was in fact reminded of it, like I was on Facebook or on Twitter, and I was just about to go record the video weblog, and I think it was a sponsored Facebook post or a sponsored tweet, but essentially an ad basically telling me, hey, don't forget, NXT TakeOver Chicago is tonight at 8/7 Central, only on the WWE Network. And I was like, wait, what? Nah, you're kidding. I couldn't have forgotten about it, right? I had totally forgotten about it. Amazing. But still, in a way, I don't know. I think that I would have liked it better if I had been able to record the video blog before NXT TakeOver Chicago, because the show was so good that first, well, I haven't been able to go ahead with my plans for today. There was a convention in a town really close to my home, and I had planned on going there. It was their first edition, and maybe there wouldn't be a lot of people on Sunday. It's kind of the entire thing. Just before taking the train, so that didn't happen. And also, well, I mean, I'm probably gonna talk about what happened over the weekend in more time. I'm gonna take more time to talk about what happened over the weekend than about what happened between the recording of the last video blog and Friday. So yeah, at any rate, let's go ahead and talk about this week. So first and foremost, I think that the saying "New Year, New Me" really applies to me now. I have an internship, so basically I'm in my first steps towards becoming a responsible adult. So yeah, there's already that. The having to be a little bit professional, even though I haven't done that at all. I went as far as arriving an hour late. Yeah, that didn't quite get me scolded, or I didn't get reported on by my boss, but yeah, they told me that it was going to be pretty much the first and the last time that this would be tolerated. And also, well, I've started this weight loss cure, and I mean the first day, so that was Tuesday. After I finally bought a mug, Tuesday, just the morning, I just couldn't take it. It was, the thing is so thick, and the chocolate flavor, you can just taste how synthesized it is. So, in my brain, I was like, God, it's going to be like that for an entire month. How am I gonna get through with it? And actually, well, as it turns out, it's actually pretty. You get used to it, the chocolate taste, it's still as synthetic as ever, but the thickness just kind of, the feeling just kind of dissipates. And to be quite honest, though, I haven't drunk a milky drink since starting this cure. So maybe once I get back to drinking some actual chocolate chocolate milk, I will be like, wow, this is so fluid. What the fuck is going on? Oh boy. So yeah, just I guess that it might be a little bit late to have some resolutions, but most of the time people don't really go ahead with their resolutions much further than February. So maybe starting in May is a surefire way to ensure that you will go through with them. I don't know. As of right now, this cure is only for a month, and well, I mean, we're 1 week in, so only 3 weeks remain. We'll see at the end of the month, whether there are some actual results and whether I want to tweak it, because, there's this strange feeling. It was very much like that the first couple of days, but I mean, in the moment, you cannot really eat anything, but I mean, as the day goes on, after 2-3 hours, you just feel hungry. Yeah, it just comes back. So yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see. But yeah, I don't know. So far, I'm getting used to it. It's not great that I get the urge of eating something in the middle of a cure to lose some weight. But that's something that I cannot really control. Anyway, I guess that it's time to talk about work. So I don't know if I talked about it in last week's video blog, but I had been assigned a lot of stuff for this past week, and I was pretty happy. I knew that it was more straightforward in terms of geomatics. Basically more geoprocessing and web mapping. So not a lot of Python like the first 2 weeks. But I didn't expect myself to really feel that if I had been, in my peak physical condition, so not tired every single day because of my shitty sleeping schedule. If anything, I have managed now to not doze off anymore at night, but I did doze off once during the day just before a meeting. So that was, I was about 2 minutes early, so it was very close. Speaking of professionalism, and the only time that I really dozed off, I was gonna fall asleep on my own anyway. Like in the following 5 or 10 minutes, I was just transferring some stuff to my phone. So yeah, I just cannot really say that I did what I did over the past last week. However, I really did fall asleep at really shitty times. Like, I think that the earliest that I've been able to fall asleep at this past week was 4 a.m. Yeah, that's not great. I'm gonna have to correct that. And I mean, I should have probably done that this weekend instead of going to sleep both Saturday and Sunday night. Friday and Saturday night, Saturday and Sunday morning actually, at around 7 a.m. But sometimes you just really cannot control that. But still, I don't want. It's not knocking on my supervisor and the people who work there, because they have worked with only one tool over the past 20 years, and now they are switching to something that's really more modern and more advanced and bit more technical. So yeah, they would probably expect themselves to take way more than 1 week to do all the things that they had assigned me. But as it turns out, I have 4 years of experience with that one tool. So yeah, if I had been very professional, working at all times and not tired and arriving at the right time, I would have probably been done with everything I had to do probably by Tuesday night. And that's being really generous. That's putting probably some unexpected bugs in the mix. Though I can tell you that for sure, I'm probably actually only 75% done with what I had to do this week. It's just that the remaining 25% are at the discretion of my supervisor, and well, my supervisor was on vacation this entire week, which is why I had so much to do. That I knew early on from the get-go that I had all of that to do for the week, because they wouldn't be reachable for the entire week, and that their boss wouldn't be able to assign me anything more. So yeah, I feel like wasting my time on Wikipedia or on websites to look at some news or whatever was probably the best way to really look like I was actually working, even though yeah, despite all of that, I was still done with everything by Thursday morning. Yeah, the rest was basically bonus stuff, just to keep me focused until Friday afternoon. So yeah, now that's everything for the weekdays, the work days of the week. But yeah, Friday and Sunday were the two final days of the Baby Cup for A, and by Friday night we were already relegated. Like, we couldn't qualify because we have lost against G 2-1 with a 90-pluser, cheeky 90-pluser. Just my phone died just before actually the goal was scored. Like, I was able to watch the stream until the 89th minute, and it was 1-1, and pretty much when my phone died there was a counter-attack by G and they scored. Yeah, and on Sunday, I just gave up when I saw that it was already 4-0 between A and W, and actually, it was only a 4-3 defeat, because at the end of the day, at the end of the weekend, we still are relegated to the fetus once again. Yeah, and that, it's a wonderful send-off gift from Ramen Raisin and the entire council, even though most of them have already quit. But yeah, it just feels right, that's this entire adventure of bullshit ends with a comeback that just really cannot happen. Yeah. But when we're talking about sports and football, I cannot say that this weekend was too shitty, because on Friday night too there was the final day of Ligue 2 with just the craziest twist happening at the very end of the games. As is tradition, the final two days, the final two matches for every team are played at the same time, so that there is some suspense. So yeah. So Friday there was the final game of Ligue 2, and at the 87th minute of the games, the three teams that were the two teams that were up for promotion in Ligue 1 and the team that was going to play the playoffs were Strasbourg in first, and I think Lens in second, and Brest in third. So yeah, because Troyes was, I think at this point it was still 1-1 against Laval, who were already relegated to National, and Nîmes was not far behind. I think that Amiens was trailing against Reims, but yeah, basically Troyes completed their comeback to win against Laval, so they took they took one of the spots, and at the very tail end of the injury time, with a free kick, Amiens equalized against Reims and took the second place, making it their first ever time in their history that they are promoted to Ligue 1, and that was just so crazy. So yeah, the 87th minute, 1 Strasbourg, 2 Lens, 3 Brest, and at the end it's 1 Strasbourg, 2 Amiens, and 3 Troyes. Troyes will play against Lorient, because the final day of Ligue 1 was crazy too. There were the destinies of clubs playing for Europe and clubs playing to stay in Ligue 1 were at crossroads, as Lorient was playing against Bordeaux, Caen was playing against Paris, so that was only for Caen. Dijon was playing against Toulouse, Nancy against Saint-Etienne. Saint-Etienne are already dead for Europe, and Marseille was playing against Bastia. Marseille had the advantage because they had 1 point over Bordeaux, but Bordeaux scored first despite Lorient trying, and Caen was pretty much the same happened actually with Caen and Paris. With Caen seeing one of their shots just being deflected by Trapp, and then Paris scoring. But then, so at halftime, Nancy was the team saved because they were like up 1-0 or 2-0 against Saint-Etienne. There was 1-0 for Bordeaux, which means that they were in 5th place, and yeah, Dijon was drawing with Toulouse, and it was that the second half where everything decided itself. At around the 60th minute, Lorient equalized, meaning that Nancy were pretty much fucked because they were already fucked because of the goal difference against Bastia, but Bastia conceded against Marseille, making them the very good last of Ligue 1, even though they still are appealing for their defeat against Lyon, the time where the supporters invaded the pitch. And well, Marseille won, which means that they were 5th. Lorient just fought tooth and nails to keep the draw, because that essentially put them in 17th place. So that was saving them, because Caen had fucked up a penalty kick and chance after chance after chance with Paris not playing. So yeah, they were rigging the championship, and they weren't able to equalize, and then with a 90 plus, or actually at the very start of injury time, they scored. Caen scored, and they are 17th. So yeah, the two teams to be relegated are Bastia and Nancy, even with their the 3 points that they could potentially recuperate, or 1 point or whatever. They are still fucked, Bastia, and it's essentially, do they end up 19th or 20th? And the team that will play the playoffs against Troyes will be Lorient. So that's really exciting, because Lorient, they struggled, but they managed to stay level with the 6th of Ligue 1, who will be probably in Europe next season. There is no way that Paris would fuck that up against Angers next week, but yeah, and Troyes struggled against a team that was already relegated to national, because basically the only match that really mattered was Red Star versus Auxerre. I think that Orléans, at any rate, they were gonna end up 18th. So yeah, they're playing, I think, in 2 days against Paris FC. So that's the other club in Paris, who have managed to stay in 3rd place of national despite their loss. I think it's on goal difference that Consola once again misses the promotion to Ligue 2, or at least to the playoffs. So yeah, that kind of sucks. It would have been amazing that Consola managed to get in the playoffs and to go to Ligue 2. Managed to go there, because it would have pissed off Jean-Luc Godin, because he really doesn't want, this fucking shithead of the right wing doesn't want to give any money to anything regarding the Quartier Nord, the kind of the impoverished part of Marseille. So yeah, that's actually where I'm from, even though I only lived there for like 2 years. So yeah, would have been fun, but hopefully they don't end up like the Red Star. The Red Star, they were really close to promoting to Ligue 1 last season, and now they are relegated to national without even having the chance of the playoffs. So yeah, hopefully Consola don't end up being relegated to national too, because that will be the new name of CFA starting next season. And in the middle of all that, there was NXT TakeOver Chicago, and boy was it good. Man, the best match of the night, without even the shadow of a doubt. The match for the UK Championship between Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. God damn it, those two tore the roof of the Allstate Arena. When you get a town in the US to chant UK instead of NXT, or even instead of CM Punk, That's just amazing. I mean, people were pissed because Hideo Itami, he was a little bit cheeky, showing telling people that he would show what's a real go to sleep in Chicago, and that it was the perfect place to do that. But still, there apparently people wanted to start a CM Punk chant when Hideo Itami hit it on Bobby Roode. But nah, you gotta respect the man. But yeah, every match was damn good. I was really happy that Asuka, despite not fighting against Ember Moon, who is, I still think that it's legitimate, her injury, despite, not fighting Ember Moon, still looked pretty fucking strong in the triple threat against Nikki Cross and Ruby Riott. Yeah, she looked fucking amazing and more badass than she did against Ember Moon at TakeOver Orlando, actually. Roderick Strong, just what a man, dispatching, taking on all of Sanity by himself, even though he was ran the fuck over by Killian Dane. Yeah, he still won with a backbreaker, so that was, it was pretty satisfactory, if I must say so myself. And the match for the NXT Championship, there was absolutely no doubt that Bobby Roode would retain, even though I really wanted Hideo Itami to hit the GTS that should be a finisher, and I was really glad that Bobby Roode actually rolled to the outside to avoid getting pinned. But I think that it cemented Hideo Itami, given that maybe he shouldn't get injured again. But yeah, if he manages to stay healthy, to stay away from injuries, he has been cemented as a legit main event player on NXT. It was weird to feel that he's the only one from that period from the period from before the very first NXT live event on the network to not even be considered for a shot at the title. But still, it's just now, it feels like he really belongs. Now he'll have to actually win to make his name a little bit more prestigious. But there's nothing that this man cannot do. Besides that, the match for the tag titles was the main event, a ladder match between Gargano and Ciampa and the Authors of Pain, with a kind of botched double jump on both of the Authors of Pain, with they were laid out on ladders, and both of DIY just jumped on them, but kind of overshot. Essentially, Paul Ellering cost Gargano and Ciampa the titles by yanking Gargano away from them as he was very close to getting the titles. And then either Akam or Razor, I just kind of forgot about that. I haven't had the time to see if he was the one with the eyeliner or not. He won he took the titles, and then something terrible happened with Tommaso Ciampa turning on Johnny Gargano, and it was just heartbreaking. The feud is going to be amazing between the both of them, but I just didn't want DIY to end. There was so much teasing about that, and when it finally happens, it still hurts, man. It's still, man, that's fucked up. Yeah, so it's going to be really tough for SmackDown Live to beat that. I love Breezango to beat, and I'm really glad that they have Nakamura and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and AJ Styles, because I honestly don't see how they would be able to compete, to even go close to the level of TakeOver Chicago without all those very talented wrestlers. So yeah, that's basically it. You see, 24 minutes. That's not great. Yeah, we're still, I'm not gonna, I cannot talk about Backlash because, well, the pre-show is still like an hour away from us. So yeah, just it would be weird. The only thing I know is that Ty Dillinger is fighting against Aiden English, and that maybe Aiden English's actions were a rebound on Mauro Ranallo, which is fucked up if it's true. But still, yeah. It should be fun. Breezango, they are really great, and there's a pool of very talented wrestlers and very fun wrestlers on SmackDown. So yeah, I don't doubt that it would be at least fun. At any rate, thanks for watching. See you next week, I guess. Yeah, it's not going to be great this coming week. I have some meetings, and I can end my week as early as Wednesday. So yeah, it's not going to be great to just get back into some more healthier habits, especially about my sleeping schedule. But still, we'll see about that. Thanks for watching. See you next week, or see you Wednesday night or Thursday night, depending on how I feel about it. Bye.